What's up everybody, Billy from Typical Reviews here, and today it's going to be a little bit different, as you can tell by the gameplay happening in the background. That's just a little Call of Duty Black Ops 3 that I'm playing. I don't do particularly well or bad, but it's just something to kind of keep busy on the screen while I go over my Q&A, my first one ever that I'm doing for you guys. So I got a ton of questions, and I won't be able to get through every single one of them, so I've chosen around 12 or so that I'm going to be answering in this video. So let's go over them one by one. And the first one comes in here is from Sumit Sharma, and he asks, thoughts on the new Battlefield and the new Call of Duty? Personally, I'm a big fan of Battlefield in terms of this kind of era. I was a Call of Duty fan back in Call of Duty 1, the original one on PC, and the United Offensive expansion. Call of Duty 2 is fantastic too. Had a great time with Modern Warfare, and then Modern Warfare 2. But after that, Black Ops 1 was pretty good too. But since then, I haven't really been into it as much. I mean, you are seeing Black Ops 3 being played right now. But I'm mostly a PC gamer, and generally those other ones were better for PC than the current iterations of them. So I've personally moved more to the Battlefield series since I've been more of a PC gamer in general. And the first Battlefield 1942 was great. I love the expansions for it. Battlefield 2, I remember getting really excited to even download the demo and get to play that as well on my really crummy computer at the time. That was a ton of fun. Loved Bad Company 2, loved Bad Company 2 Vietnam, loved Battlefield 3. I didn't get a chance to play Hardline or 4, so I can't really speak to them. But with the new announcement of Battlefield 1 and that kind of historical setting, that looks absolutely awesome to me, and I can't wait to try it out. Hopefully there's some sort of beta so I can see it before I buy it, because EA does have a tendency to have a lot of DLC stuff for it, so that might be the only kind of con to it. But I do love the more Battlefield-esque fighting, the kind of shooting system, than I do the Call of Duty one. And I just like the way that DICE makes their game. So that's my thoughts on that. Used to be a COD fan, not really much anymore. Always kind of a Battlefield fan, and it's kind of it's been pretty consistent across the board. Question number 2 comes from Johnny Miliotti. And now, if I pronounce any of these names, I'm really sorry. Sometimes I could be a little bad at pronunciation. But he asks, who's older, you or Typical Gamer? So I ran the math between our age differences, and drum roll please. I am 2 years, 4 months, and 3 or 4 days, depending if you count the end date, older than Typical Gamer or Andre. But I want to know what you guys think. Who do you think was older, and who do you think was younger, and by how much? I'd love to know in the comment section below, because sometimes, you know, you get some weird things between siblings. So let me know what you guys think. On to question number 3 from Madav Menon, and he asks, what car do you have and your favorite city in the GTA, not the game, the Greater Toronto Area, Milton, Mississauga, Brampton, or Toronto? I currently drive a 2012 Chevrolet Cruze in black. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it in any pictures I've taken on Instagram or Twitter, or even in any of my videos. But yeah, it's a pretty basic economy car. My more pride and joy that I like to have is my 2011 Honda CBR 250R, my motorcycle. I do enjoy taking that on more spirited things, because the other thing, my Cruze is an Econobox. It's kind of from just getting point A to point B. It's not really a performance machine by any standard. It doesn't have anything really cool in it. You know, it's kind of like a Civic or a Corolla, you know, your basic kind of economy car just to get me around. So that's what I have as my kind of daily driver, but I do prefer my motorcycle instead. And the second part is my favorite city in the Greater Toronto Area. Well, I currently live in Toronto, or if you want to break it down a little bit more, in Etobicoke. I love the city, but between those other ones like Mississauga, Brampton, and Milton, I used to work in Mississauga, and I've worked in a couple other areas as well in and around the GTA. I really love it all. In the Greater Toronto Area, you got tons of different great things to do in any one of those areas. But if I had to pick another one, let's say outside of Toronto, I'd probably, that's such a tough call. I'll just go with Mississauga because it sounds cool. Plus, I used to work there. On to question number 4 now, and Henry Bex asks, what do you use to edit, program, and computer? Program-wise, for the thumbnails, I use Adobe Photoshop. That's a pretty basic one to use for all of that. For actually editing the videos themselves, I used to use Sony Vegas. I've moved over to Adobe Premiere because it does have a little bit more feature filled, and I do like the system a little bit better now. I'm still learning, and I want to learn how to use After Effects, but those are the things that I use to edit. My computer is a custom built computer. I don't remember the specs off by hand, but it is a Windows 10 computer that I do all my editing on, and it's custom built. It has a 90 NVIDIA GTX 980 or 980 GTX Ti. That's what I have. I have 16 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM. It's an Intel processor. I forget which model exactly right now, but I do have a water cooler on it, and it is overclocked from the stock. I think it's 3 point something. It's up at 4 gigahertz right now. So that's what I use to edit my videos and what I use it on to edit my videos. Question number 5 comes in from Yasmin Coles, and she asks, what's your main goal to achieve by the end of this year? I'm thinking my main goal, and it's already on its way. We're already at 87,000 subscribers. So hopefully you can hit that 100,000 mark. That would be fantastic. Should be able to hit it hopefully sometime this year. So let's say we're going to have a little bit of a audacious goal by the end of the year. I want to see if we can hit 150,000 subscribers. So that's effectively doubling what we have right now. I mean, we're not even halfway through the year. So let's see if we can accomplish that for this year. Question number 6 comes from Infamous Infernal, and they ask, what is your favorite video game? Well, honestly, I don't have a favorite one that I've played all the time. I guess it really depends on the era that I'm playing it in. I mean, at one point when I had my first, SNES, I used to love, Mario Kart, the original one, or Super Mario World that was on there, the All-Stars one. It really depends on the era. And then I go over to the N64 era, loved GoldenEye, loved Perfect Dark, loved those kind of games. And then afterwards, when I went to the PlayStation 2 era, I'm just trying to remember. I love Gran Turismo for it. There are a whole bunch of games. Any of the sports games like NHL, whatever year it was at the time, I used to play a lot of those. As I've gotten older, I've enjoyed, still shooters is generally probably one of my main games that I do play and enjoy, like the Battlefield series, for example. But as of right now, the games that I've been playing lately, they kind of sound a little bit casual, but I had also a big time where I was playing League of Legends for a long time. I really kind of actually want to get back into it. I really do enjoy the game a lot. But Hearthstone, I've been playing a lot of that recently. I've just finished playing the Overwatch beta, which I really enjoyed, and really contemplating on buying that one. And just on my phone, I've been playing Clash Royale along with Hearthstone, because Hearthstone is a bunch of cross-platform play on it, which is pretty cool. Question number 7, and Trezzo asks, what was your first console and what's your favorite? Very first console, actually now I'm trying to think between the two, which one we got first. Was it the SNES or the original Game Boy? It was a toss-up between the two, but I think I'm going to give it to the Super Nintendo. That was the first console that Andre and we ever got together. And my absolute favorite console, though, ooh, that's a tough one, because each console that I've ever had has some good memories on it. It's gotten the SNES, Nintendo 64, PlayStation 2, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, a slew of Game Boys in between there. And to be honest, probably the one that I would say, one of my favorite ones, it's got to be a toss-up either between the PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 3. Those ones are probably, but then the N64 has a lot of fond memories on it too, with 4-player Perfect Dark. So it's a really tough bet, but I'm going to say top 3 in no particular order: N64, PS2, and PS3. On to question number 8, and FaZe Army asks, when did you start your channel? Well, the channel, this one over here, Typical Reviews, this one was started back in late September of 2015, right at the launch of the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus. You guys can check out our very first video. I'm going to just leave a link to it over here, either in the little card area or a link somewhere in the description below. So make sure if you guys want to go check it out. It was an unboxing. It's my very first. If you'd like, you can compare it to one of my more recent ones, and you guys can let me know if I've improved from there, if I've gotten worse, if I've gotten better, and just let me know what you guys think about it in between that. So yeah, back in September. So we've been going for a little while yet, not a year yet, but it's going to be coming up soon in September. Question number 9, and it comes from Sniper Master, and they ask, would you ever do a live stream? I actually have done some little itty bitty live streams in the past. Just actually most recently one on a Twitch account. I did a Hearthstone, I guess you could almost say an unboxing of the Whispers of the Old Gods, because that was the latest expansion that came out. I unboxed the packs from there. I had a whole bunch of them that I got. But I would actually like to entertain the idea. I do have the Razer Ripsaw, a PlayStation 4 with Call of Duty. I don't have very many games for it, but I do have a couple games on the PC that I might be doing in the future. I think the computer can handle some light gaming with a face picture as well, but I would want to get like a dedicated kind of streaming PC, low powered one, just to be able to push that through and be able to stream that way. But yeah, I have done a few minuscule ones in the past, but I would like to kind of continue that in the future. And question number 10 comes from Brady, and they ask, what is your fave song? So this one's going to kind of sound a little rambly, kind of like the previous one about the console, and it kind of has to do with the fact that it depends on the time in my life that I do have a favorite song or songs at the time. For example, in my college years, I really enjoyed listening to a lot of electronic dance music or EDM, and listened to a lot of deadmau5 at the time, and Strobe was one of my favorite songs by him. And it also depends on the era too. When I was younger than that, I really enjoyed a lot of Disturbed, for example. My likes and dislikes have kind of changed over the years. There's a phase that I really liked a lot of rap and hip hop, so there was some Eminem thrown in there. But if I had to pick a absolute favorite song that when I hear it, that I can't denounce, that I don't like it at all, and it's got to be Aha's Take On Me. If you guys don't know that video, it's a great music video. It's a song from the 80s. I absolutely love it, and I'll actually leave a link in the description below for you guys to go and check it out. Should be on YouTube. Hopefully there shouldn't be any kind of copyright things blocking it, but hopefully you guys will enjoy the glory that is that 1980s music video. Question number 11 comes from Chris Bess, and Chris asks, what devices / tech, and if it was your choosing, would you like to review? There is a lot of tech in the future coming out that I would love to review. I would love to check out things like some sort of VR headset. I still haven't had my chance to get my hands on one of those and actually try it out for myself. That's something I would definitely want to try. But something that I would say that I would really definitely want to check out and try for myself would have to be a Tesla vehicle. I mean, I've went to one of those Tesla dealerships and got to like sit in it and kind of play around with it, but I would love to actually take it for a test drive because it kind of combines two things that I love, driving and technology, and just seeing it all work together. That's what I would like to try. So I'm gonna say, because it's the new one that still hasn't come out yet, but I would like to give the Tesla 3 a shot, and failing that, any of the previous ones as well. I'm definitely open for one of those. And last but not certainly least, question number 12 comes from Adrian San Pablo, and they ask, what is the best gadget that you have? I take a look at a lot of different things, and you guys can see from my videos that we've checked out a couple and a bunch of different things. But one of the best ones that I say that I have, and it's that I just use on a daily basis, and it doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, one particular device that I love, but I would just have to say like a smartphone in general. Let's say, you know, the 6P. I also have a iPhone 5S that I use regularly, but just smartphones. Ever since I got my very first iPhone 3G back in 2008, I don't know what I could do without them now. Of course, there are other negatives that, you know, people have kind of become kind of ironically less social because of them, even though it's supposed to kind of bring about that sociability aspect. But just smartphones. I love my smartphones. I love my gadget. That just to be able to, you know, check something, if you need directions, if you need to know where to eat, what to eat, you could just look it up at the drop of a hat, especially when you have a data plan on your phone. I just think that's absolutely incredible. And there you go, guys. Those are 12 questions that I fielded from the Twitterverse. I'm going to be doing more of these in the future. I don't know when the next one is going to be, but make sure you stick around and check out my Twitter at Typical Reviews to find out when the next Q&A is going to be, so you have your opportunity to ask me your questions. So if I didn't get to it in this video, perhaps I will get to it next time, but there were a lot of questions. So if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give that thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more content just like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well. And as always, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have an awesome day, and peace out.